After the plethora of posts regarding comparing Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier after UFC 324, I will give my take on this, comparing their best wins, looking at their accomplishments, and give the final verdict as to who I think is better all time. Let's compare Poirier's best wins with Gaethje's best wins. Poirier's best win, I think, is Holloway. Gaethje's is Poirier. Now, for Holloway, he was on a 13-fight win streak, the greatest featherweight of all time, or top two, and then he moved up to lightweight to fight Dustin Poirier and lost. Whereas Dustin Poirier was an established lightweight when he fought Justin Gaethje, very solid one too, and got knocked out. I'm going to give it to Poirier because he was an established lightweight who beat Holloway the second time. And second, Holloway was not used to the new weight class at the time, coming in too small, and as you move up to a new weight class, you're dealing with heavier man's power, and Poirier had that power, which shocked Max Holloway. So give me Poirier. Second one is Conor twice. Gaethje beat Ferguson. I'd say that Conor's better all time, but I think that the Conor who Poirier beat isn't a prime Conor. Still a solid Conor, but not a prime Conor. Because after knocking out Alvarez, become champ, took a 2-year layoff, made millions of dollars boxing Mayweather. So he lost the motivation, plus ring rust against Khabib, and he lost. Then he rebounds against a regressed Cowboy Cerrone, and then loses Dustin Poirier. So that's not a all-time Conor, but it's a decent Conor. The second one is immediate rematch. So the first one, in my opinion, is a low-level elite win. Second one, immediate rematch. Whereas Ferguson, don't look at him overall on his decline. Ferguson was on a whooping 12-fight win streak, an interim champion, when he fought Gaethje. And Gaethje ended all that Tony Ferguson train. And this is when we say one loss changes the trajectory of your entire career. So since that loss, Ferguson has not been the same guy. So give me Ferguson, the prime Ferguson, over the Conor that Poirier fought. Then you have Alvarez versus Fiziev 2 times 2. Give me Alvarez, former champion, knocked out Justin Gaethje. Give me Alvarez. Pettis versus Pimblett. Yes, Pettis, former champion, bigger name overall, higher on the GOAT list as any. But Pimblett was on a big run, beating older guys. This one can go either way, but give me a slight edge to Pimblett over a regressed Pettis. Hooker versus Barboza. That's a very, very tough one because Barboza was coming off a nice, beautiful knockout against Hooker, and Hooker's on a 3-fight win streak. Very, very tough one that can go either way. So, but give me Barboza with a slight edge. Or you can say Hooker, either way, doesn't matter to me. Chandler versus Chandler, I'd say a tiebreaker. Gaethje versus Cerrone. Now, people say, oh, why do you have Gaethje on one of his bottom wins? Because Gaethje was pre-prime and underdeveloped that time. He was 1-1 in the UFC. He beat Michael Johnson, lost to Eddie Alvarez, then fought Poirier. He was pre-prime, and he's made a lot of adjustments since fighting Poirier and Alvarez. So it's literally not the same Gaethje as today. And Cerrone, regressed Cerrone, obviously Gaethje. Saint-Denis versus Vic, easily Saint-Denis. So comparing them side by side, Poirier beats Holloway, Ferguson better than Conor, Alvarez better than Fiziev, Pettis versus Pimblett can go either way. I give it to Pimblett. Barboza versus Hooker, either way, give it to Barboza. Chandler versus Chandler, same. Gaethje versus Cerrone, obviously Gaethje. Saint-Denis versus Vic, obviously BSD. Now, classifying what I call elite. Elite, remember guys, is what I call a top 5 of your time without asterisks. Asterisks being gifted rankings, short notice fights, fighting in a new weight class, because that, in my opinion, downgrades the value for your win. So Poirier's elite wins are Holloway, which it could be all time, but it's elite because he was coming from a new weight class, from featherweight, new weight class from him, undersized, not used to the weight class, and dealing with heavy men's power in Poirier. Conor won low-level elite because he looked great against Cerrone, 40-second knockout, but out of his prime is still low-level elite. Alvarez beating Gaethje, yeah, I'd say he was elite. And Chandler, low-level elite. And you might say BSD, no, not BSD. Definitely not elite. Anyways, and for Gaethje, you have Poirier, Ferguson, and lower extent Chandler. People might say, oh, but Pimblett's top 5 of your time, right? Bro, that's an asterisk, because who did Pimblett beat? Regressed Tony Ferguson, regressed Michael Chandler, Bobby Green. He didn't beat anyone in the top 5. This is what I call being gifted a ranking. And Paddy Pimblett was being gifted a top 5. He wasn't actually a solid top 5, would be a top 5 guy to earn it. He was gifted it. Now we go with accomplishments. Gaethje, a 2-time interim champion. Poirier, 1-time interim champion. Now, as for my verdict, the winner is Dustin the Highlight Gaethje.